Alright, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and I have a question for you guys, and I hope somebody out there has the answer. Can you guys tell me how one of the most useful comic cards in the game is somehow the least used card? I'm talking about Loki, Agent of Asgard, number 17, arguably the best non-premium comic card because it gives you two of the mandatory stats that you want as a new or free-to-play player. It really just blows my mind to see this. Less than 1% of the player base throughout all of Marvel Future Fight is actually using the Loki Agent of Asgard card. So what we're going to be doing today is putting together a tier list that will hopefully help some of you guys, because far too often do we have roast streams where I see some of you guys have absolutely terrible card sets and you're wondering why you're struggling to clear content and why you can't win in PvP. And that should not be the case because comic cards are easier to attain than ever. You can literally craft comic cards every single day using feathers. Additionally, you can get them from dimension missions here. The mission changes every single day and you get access to a different card. And in addition to that, yes, there is more. Let's say you stop playing Marvel Future Fight and you were not aware, but Giant Boss Raid gives you access to these premium comic card tokens. You get 10 a day, and once you accumulate 600, you come over here to the shop, click on Dimension Chest, premium comic card time, you pop this open and you are guaranteed to get yourself a premium comic card. After playing the game for about 2 or 3 months, especially considering the fact that we get these token events from time to time, okay? I don't want to see any of you guys with these trash tier comic card sets anymore. I'm tired of seeing them, so we're making this video today. Hopefully this helps somebody, because far too often we do these roast streams and you guys look like you don't know what the heck you're doing. These comic card sets that you guys are putting together are just absolutely terrible. So today I have put together a list of 42 comic cards that you should be looking at if you are playing Marvel Future Fight, whether you are a new player or you've been playing for some time. That being said, let's get right into it. We have 5 different categories. We have the beginner category, and I'm gonna classify you as a beginner if you've been playing for less than 6 months. This category is going to have all of the non-premium comic cards that you'd want to have in your set. Now there's way more than 42 cards in the game. I just showed you there's 95, but most of them are garbage, so you don't want to equip them. Sure, you want to get them to 6 star to finish your collection to give you the additional stats, but that's about it. That being said, let's jump right into it. This Loki card right here, I know it's a little bit cut off, but you can see the picture of Loki, is the best non-premium card in the game. So if you are a new player, this card is absolutely mandatory. It's one of the first ones you should pick up and put in your comic card set. The next card you should consider getting, you can get this one from the crafting lab, and that's going to be the Thor card. Additionally, this card right here, Shield number 12, really good non-premium card that you can put in your set early on if you acquire it. This one right here, Gwenpool, another really good non-premium card that you can put in your set early on. We also have the Groot card that's gonna go right here in the beginner category. The Shaner card, I'm gonna put that in the beginner category. Punisher, all of these Punisher cards are really good because they either give you attack, ignore defense, or cooldown. We're also gonna put this Ultron card in here, even though it's really difficult to roll, but if you're lucky you can actually get an amazing roll and it will last for the first like 6 or so, maybe even more months of playing Marvel Future Fight. We're also gonna put in this Uncanny Avengers card because it offers cooldown, all attack, energy attack, and physical attack. It's hard to roll, but you can actually get really good stats. We're also gonna put in this Unlimited card because it also gives you some good options early on. All of the Punisher cards are very good early on, so we got to put Punisher War Journal in here as well. This Marvel Zombies card is the better of the two. It gives you a ton of cooldown, so early on within your first 6 months, it's really beneficial. There's about 5 stats that you need to be on the lookout for very early on in Marvel Future Fight, and they're all attack, physical attack, energy attack, ignore defense, and cooldown duration. Everything else is gravy. If we take a look at my card set, you'll notice I have a ton of attack because attack is always king. After you've bumped up your attack to the absolute brink of what you can have, then you want to start giving yourself additional stuff like critical rate, critical damage, HP, defense, dodge, and you want to get yourself to about 36% cooldown duration. You can get away with anywhere from 28 to 31%, but I like to have a little bit more because some characters don't have any cooldown natively. Now, the next 2 cards I'm going to put in here are Civil Wars 4 and Civil War 5. These cards are actually really good because they give you a bunch of attack stats. However, Civil War 5 is really hard to attain, and after you attain it, it is very hard to roll. If I was going to structure this from left to right in the form of best to worst, I would probably have it looking something like this. However, the only cards that you really want to worry about is the Loki and the Thor card, because the rest of these cards you're not going to keep very long. You want to ideally aim to get these out of your comic card set within your first 6 months. Okay, these cards are basically just to get your foot in the gate and understand the system. We're also going to put in the Monsters Unleashed cards. Every single one of these cards are actually really good. However, to attain these, you actually have to gamble, and I wouldn't recommend that you gamble with your crystals very early on. You want to focus on getting uniforms for characters, because where we are currently in the game, there are very few characters that their base form is actually their final form, meaning that's the version of them that is currently the strongest. We're also going to throw in this Nebula card. It's a really good starter as well. These cards, they can probably go up here, maybe right behind the Thor card, but just keep in mind that you have to gamble for these, so I wouldn't go out of my way to get them. If you are one to spend a little bit of crystals early on, that's completely up to you, but I would not recommend it. Moving on, the next category we're going to be looking at is the category of premium cards that you should never craft. Okay, let me just change this so you guys understand, because I always see players crafting these cards. These cards are not meant to be crafted. Okay, they're very old. Never craft these cards. These cards you use to re-roll the stars on your good cards so you can get blue stars to give you additional pierce and good stats at the exact same time. In case you don't know what I'm talking about because you're relatively new and you're like, what are these stars? What are these stats? If you look at my cards here, you'll notice that all my stars are blue. Why is that? That's because it gives me additional pierce. Additional pierce allows me to bypass the defense of whatever enemy I'm up against by a fixed percent. So having more blue stars or all blue stars will give you more damage. So you want to go for as many blue stars as possible on every single one of your cards. But you don't just want to go for blue stars, you want to get blue stars with good stats. It's very difficult to get this. To get all attack, critical rate, HP, dodge, and all that stuff, it's very difficult. So what you want to do is save all of your bad cards to then use to reroll your good cards. So this category right here, never craft, is the kind of cards you're going to be keeping to reroll with later on. And one of the cards that I always see new players crafting, because everybody loves Black Panther. Black Panther is straight gangster, so they always craft this card because he looks like a god. However, the card itself is one of the worst cards in the game. Please never craft this. If you already crafted it, at some point you're gonna have to remove it when there's a discount to remove it, and then use it to re-roll a better card because it's not good. Okay, another card that I always see people crafting is this Loki card. Please do not craft it. It is very bad. You want to use that to re-roll your better cards that are going to be up here. Okay, this card as well. Once upon a time, it was very good. But as the game progressed and we got better comic cards, now this is the kind of card that you use to re-roll those better cards. Okay, so never ever craft this card. Moving on, We're also going to put, oh, I forgot to put this one down here. Anyways, I believe this one gives you physical attack and cooldown, so it's super useful early on, but it is kind of hard to attain. Similar to the Thor card, you might have to pick that one up from the crafting lab unless you get really lucky. Anyways, moving on, we're going to put the Gwenpool card as another card that you should not craft, because you're going to be losing out on a lot of overall attack stats if you actually craft this and keep it in your set. So this is going to join the other 3 cards here as one you want to use to reroll as fodder. The next one is going to be one of the Korean cards. Very hard to get this card. It's only here for like Black Friday and special events, but the only reason to get it is so that you can complete the collection, so you can get the bonus. Literally the only reason to get it is so you can complete the art book collection. Besides that, the stats on it overall, not very good. Moving on, we have another one of the art book cards that is complete garbage. This goes into the never craft category. You only use it to reroll because the stats overall are very bad. We're also going to put this Thor card in here as well because the stats on it also kinda dookie, fam. Next card we gotta put in here is actually this one right here, Captain America. Do not craft it. Moving on, the next card that we have to talk about is the Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch card. Me personally, I would never ever craft this card. I think you compromise too much attack to keep it, but I have seen some whales who use this card for PvP. Again, not for me. I'm gonna put this in the never craft category. I think you compromise too much attack, whether it's physical or energy, in order to keep this card in your set to get additional HP. It's just not worth it for me in the long run. If you want to use it as a filler, cool, but eventually you're gonna have to take it off, so why bother? For me, it's a no-no. Moving on, now we're in the big leagues. We're gonna start off with the Crescent card, and this Crescent card is a PvP card. It is very good if you care about defense and you think it actually makes a difference in PvP. You guys know me already if you've been following the channel. I'm the attack kind of guy. I'm the attack titan, okay? I think attack is king, and I want to kill my enemies before they have a chance to breathe. So for me, this Crescent card is great for PvP, but it is not a must-have. So I'm gonna put it right here for PvP for those of you guys who want the extra HP and the extra defense. For me though, I like that attack. Moving on, we're gonna put the New Avengers card in the PvP category, maybe even ahead of Crescent. It is a very good card, especially if you get the HP proc with quality 6 or 7 with some additional all attack on it. So a good PvP card. This is one that I'm considering putting in my set personally. I'm still just trying to reroll it, hopefully to get quality 7 at some point. I have quality 6, but I'm kind of greedy, so I'm going for something even spicier. Moving on, the next card we want to put in here, and I might even put this one above Crescent, to be honest with you, but behind the New Avengers, and that is the Black Widow card. I really like the Black Widow card because it gives you all attack, physical attack, energy attack, and HP, so you're not really compromising too much. Personally though, I would put this in my set over Black Widow because that 20% extra HP that you get from this is kind of nice, and I have seen fights where that makes a big difference. Moving into the PvE category, we got to step it up with White Fox as the very first one because that physical attack proc is becoming more and more popular right now, more and more powerful even, because we have more and more physical characters getting buffed in the last few updates. We got people like Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Thanos, Wong, you name it. So many physical characters are getting buffed lately, so that physical proc from the White Fox card is more powerful and more useful than ever. I personally don't have the White Fox card in my set. If we could put a 6 card, I might consider it because I really like some of those physical characters like Spider-Man that's getting a nice run in the meta right now, and I wouldn't mind getting some more extra attack for them because like I told you guys, man, I'm the attack titan. I just want to kill my enemies before they even have a chance to breathe. Moving on, we got Spider-Man, and the Spider-Man card I'm gonna put right here behind White Fox. I think it's an amazing card. Once upon a time I would have said it was a must-have, but for now I'm gonna put it in the PvE category. Okay, keep in mind if you're building a set that you want to be a hybrid set, you could take 2 or 3 cards from PvP or 2 or 3 cards from PvE and then combine it together. Just make sure you're losing as little attack as possible. Just prioritize whichever piece of content is most important to you. So if you're a PvE player, so World Boss Legend, Squad Battle, ABX, you name it, Giant Boss Raid, then ideally you want 3 cards out of this category or out of the must-have category and the PvE category combined, and then another 1 or 2 out of the PvP category. We'll get to the must-have category in a second. So right here, we're gonna put this card right here, possibly behind White Fox, ahead of Spider-Man, just because it gives you a really good amount of attack, and it is very easy to roll. It is the only art book card that is actually worth crafting, so do keep that in mind. If you're gambling for the art book cards, if you ever get this one, this is the one you want to keep. You do not want to use it to reroll. Moving on, we have Black Panther 166 and Black Panther 166, Spider-Man 605, and the Cable Card. They're all interchangeable, so these cards, whichever one you want, you can put them on. It's very easy to roll them to get identical stats. Moving on, we have the must-have category. No matter what piece of content you are playing, you absolutely need to have these 2 cards, ladies and gentlemen. You can interchange them however you want. Lunar Snow first, Guardians of the Galaxy best story ever second. It does not matter, but these 2 cards are absolutely essential for every comic card set in the game. It doesn't matter if you're a PvE player or a PvP player. The Lunar Snow card gives you so much attack. Listen to me, folks. I'm the attack titan and attack is king. You want that attack. So if you have a card set that doesn't have Lunar Snow in there, you need to get that at some point, and you're gonna need to replace one of your cards and put that in. Same goes for this card right here. It gives you an amazing amount of attack and HP, and you don't have to compromise pretty much anything for it. Beautiful combination of offense and defense in the form of HP. That's the only kind of defense that I rock with, boys. I want more HP sauce on my steak, god damn it. Anyway, so this is gonna be the video, man. You can take 3 cards out of the PvE category and 2 out of the PvP category, or you can do like me, man. Be the attack titan and go 4 here and 1 out of here. And that's what I'm going to ultimately do at some point. For now, I got this in my set, I got this in my set, this, and this. But at some point, I'm going to incorporate this one. I've seen people incorporate both of them. I think you're compromising too much attack, but that's just me. You already know. I just want to kill my enemies. Anyways, man, gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope the video was helpful. I hope the next time we do a roast stream, some of you guys actually come correct with some decent cards, because at the end of the day, guys, your comic card set is your foundation. You take away my comic cards and half the things I can do in the game is no longer possible. And that goes for both my free-to-play account and my whale account.